My name is Cassidy Houston. I'm the middle school math teacher, and it's my privilege to introduce Mr. Garv Chawla. During my first year at RMS, I met Garv as an assistant to sixth grade science. Garv was a member of the prestigious and self-acclaimed Rocket Boys. In case you're wondering, boys is spelled B-O-I-Z-Z. Param, the lead teacher of sixth grade science, gave me the privilege to work exclusively with these three gentlemen. Garv, Aaron, and LJ were hell-bent on shooting something as far from the earth as allowed by Param and I's best judgment. This is the first time I witnessed Garv's drive to see things through. I've seen when he sets his eyes on something, he's going to do it. The Rocket Boys were not successful in many of their initial attempts, but that did not stop them. Finally, after weeks of failed attempts, there was a success. Quite conveniently, I have a video of this successful launch. So just give me one moment here. We're recording. Make sure you hang tight.
We are about to launch the rocket, and I am going to record it, not the ground.
T-minus 10 seconds.
What?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Whoa!
Oh no, the parachute!
Did it explode, Garv? Garv, am I allowed to catch it this time? No.
So, as you can see, the parachute failed on the initial launch, and if that isn't pure passion behind Garv's blood-curdling no, then I don't know what is. But in all seriousness, Garv has a passion for more than just rockets. I don't know if you all remember the blood drive that was hosted at RMS's campus last year, but that was set up and orchestrated by Garv. He saw a need and he took action. I remember him asking if he could take time from lunch to call the Red Cross to confirm the time for their arrival. And I was thinking, how many of us at 13 years old were making the same kind of effort to make an impact? I, for one, was too shy to order a pizza over the phone until my second year of college, so certainly not me. Garv was going to host another blood drive this year if it was not for COVID. Garv's determination to see things through will surely be an asset to him in high school and beyond. Whether it's firing rockets, playing Fortnite, fixing the middle school printer, setting up blood drives, or maybe even attending MIT one day, I know when Garv sets his eyes on something, he's going to follow through. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Garv Chawla.
It is my honor to introduce our graduate, Miss Chloe Caroline Chedester. Chloe started her Montessori journey with me. It seems fitting that we are ending this chapter together as well. I've watched Chloe grow up. I've had many shared memories with her over the past 11 years, including that time I was her guest speaker for her presentation on horses to her 4-H club. One vivid memory that I will never forget is from our years downtown at Central Montessori. When Chloe was about 5, she fell down on the playground and went inside to get one of those classic Montessori ice packs. You know, that half of a frozen sponge and a Ziploc that cures all. A teacher on the playground duty sent her to the staff kitchen, and ever the independent child, instead of asking me for help or telling me what she was doing, she yanked open the big freezer door only to have a precariously placed crock pot fall on her head. We both freaked out slightly, but Chloe was just fine after a few days. And now we can laugh about the time I witnessed her narrowly escape concussion by crockpot. This was one of my first Chloe injuries, but not to be the last. She's a bit accident prone, and there was a period of time that I just stopped asking about all of the Band-Aids because I couldn't keep up. Chloe is a talented singer and a member of the Virginia Choristers. She has performed in Wales, England, and on the Queen Mary too. She is blessed and cursed with perfect pitch. Why do I say cursed? Because those with perfect pitch are hyper aware of when something is out of tune. And the day that I realized this, I began singing everything to Chloe purposefully off pitch. Answers to her questions, lesson instructions, even conversations. She cringes and rolls her eyes. To be fair, it's pretty cringeworthy. But I think after all of this time, she almost expects it now and has embraced my singing voice. Chloe has a competitive edge and a slight flair for the dramatic. It was obvious at the talent show in Asheville and made for an excellent cabin mate at the Chesapeake Bay, where she hunted and expertly murdered an insane amount of mosquitoes, all in the name of winning the mosquito kill tally and beating the boys. She was one of the last still out during manhunt on the farm because 1, she plays to win, and 2, she's never cold, ever. Chloe likes to study American Sign Language, and it makes sense. She's intuitive, and she can read people. She doesn't need to speak to them to hear them. She is a sensitive soul and sees the world in colors of emotion. From the sassy 4-year-old with little chopped bangs to the sassy young lady you are now, I cherish being part of your journey and watching you blossom, Chloe. You are ready for your leap out of our Montessori environment and into high school at Tucker ACA. Congratulations. It is my honor to introduce our graduate, Miss Ana Cecilia Espinosa. After a short stint at Colonial Trail Elementary, Ana returned to RMS in 6th grade, joining Miss Linton's crew. She bopped into 6th grade science like she hadn't missed a beat. I say bopped because Ana brings a certain upbeat energy with her wherever she goes. A lot of buoyancy, a little spazzy, and the most cheerful. When there is a project for STEM, there is always an option to get inventive. Without fail, Ana always chooses the rap song alternative. The first time I was pleasantly surprised not only by her choice, but by the quality of the lyrics and the performance. She goes all in, and they're just as creative and entertaining every time. For example, her Adopt an Element creation focused on Krypton just so she could dress up like Clark Kent, and she rapped her heart out in a live performance for the whole class. But don't be fooled. Superman is not her favorite. Ana's number 1 superhero is Spider-Man. Those who know Ana will tell you that she is equal parts silly and sensitive, but she is also brave. She was freaked out by the bugs in the cabin at Camp Silver Beach at first, but soon realized that she was bigger and had a trip journal to smack them with. When we arrived at the Marriott Marquis in Manhattan for Model UN, Ana took one look at the tall glass elevators and nervously wondered out loud if she could just use the stairs all week. We were staying on the 28th floor. Admittedly, the first few rides were rough, but it didn't take long for Ana to quiet her own fear of heights. Ana shows such strength through her bravery by acknowledging her fears and working through them anyway. Ana is a compassionate young lady. She is as energetic as she is loving. We were working in the horse barn at the farm in Asheville, and Ana fell in love with a horse named Harley immediately. He took a liking to her too, and she spent most of the time we were there learning to groom and love on Harley the cow horse. Her empathy extends to her circle and her people. She anticipates the needs of others and is always there to lend a helping hand. She encourages her friends, and our community would not be the same without her presence. Ana, you keep the mood light and you keep me on my toes. I'm always ready for a nosebleed. You've normalized them to the point that I could probably clean one up in my sleep. I value our years at RMS together. Your mother once jokingly called me your surrogate mom, and it is a privilege that I don't take lightly. I wouldn't go out in search of a Duane Reade and nasal spray and pouring rain in New York City for just anyone. I'm excited for what the future holds for you at ACA and beyond. There will undoubtedly be new obstacles that bring new challenges, but nothing that you can't work through. All that you need is already within you. Congratulations.
I have the privilege of introducing a special young lady that holds a special place in all our hearts at RMS, Sarah Ford. Sarah has many talents. She is an avid gymnast and plays basketball exceptionally well, but there's one that stands out the most. We were introduced to this hidden talent at our farm field study. These past 2 years, we have personally experienced and grown to love this talent that will surface at the most random moments. Sarah can turn anything, and I mean anything, into interpretive song and dance. On our spring field study at the farm, Sarah performed 2 acts on stage. The first was an interpretation of the song, "This Is My Fight Song," and the second was her interpretation of "Work This Out" from High School Musical 2. We still have those on our middle school Google Drive. If you have met Sarah, you know 2 of her greatest loves in her life are her 2 cats. As a matter of fact, both Coco and Truffles are as much a part of our middle school community as Sarah is. Because of her love and affinity for cats, Sarah is also known as Cat Girl in our community. Because of her love of cats, many would say her spirit animal is the cat. However, I believe her true spirit animal is the otter. Sarah, you take great pleasure in the success and happiness of others. You want to help others with anything and everything. You find everything interesting because you are curious and playful. You are anchored in love, joy, gratitude, and faithfulness. Your relationships are so important to you, and you include everyone. Your mottos are, "The more the merrier," and "Don't be afraid to participate, try everything." Just as your name, Sarah, means woman of high rank, princess, essence, your character also shows great depth and compassion. Your questions and comments in seminar are insightful. You listen to other points of view and will expand to find common ground. You are kind and gracious. So Sarah, as you depart from Richmond Montessori, I would like to gift you with your personal Montessori nickname to carry you into your next chapter. Your new Montessori nickname is Lovable Communicator. A verse from Proverbs sums up who you are. A joyful heart is good medicine. I will miss you, lovable communicator. I wish you much happiness and success.
Hi, my name is Kalyn Garrity, and I was Dalma Kaszala's Upper L teacher. Dalma was a 5th-year student when I began my first year as a lead teacher. I took over for the classroom of Miss Mary Hogan, who, for those of you who know Miss Hogan, was no easy feat. But luckily for me, I had Dalma, whose bright smile was a ray of light each day. I take pride in all that I taught her, but to be truthfully honest, Dalma taught me just the same. Dalma is introspective, compassionate, and empathetic. She is socially aware of all that goes on around her and will process feelings and emotions before reacting. She is a student that a teacher can count on not only academically, but also as a role model and a leader for others. Those were easy observations as a teacher. However, it took me a while to realize that she was my biggest cheerleader in the classroom. She sensed the times that I was overwhelmed and in her own poised way would simply grace me with her company. Dalma helped me keep my head on straight and keep me moving forward as a first-year teacher. I know she appreciates all of the advice I have given her, but I'm not quite sure she understands the impact that she makes on others, including adults. Our conversations didn't end in 6th grade. I can say with certainty that I will miss the times that she would get some water and come into my classroom for a way too long chat. Sorry, middle school teachers. And then a friend would pop in and say, Dalma, we've been looking for you. Where have you been? And it didn't stop there either. During this remote learning, it has always been a special day when I will scan through my email and see regular messages from Dalma. I have always appreciated her thoughtfulness and admired her kindness towards others. Observant and non-judgmental, Dalma notices the little things. For instance, my system of sticking Post-its all over my computer full of important dates and reminders was not working for, well, me or Dalma. At the end of the year, Dalma gave me a notebook. Every year since, I get a new notebook at the start of the year to replace the hundreds of sticky notes, and for that, I owe her big time. In our classroom, we light a candle to represent a lighthouse which guides us back home. It's placed in our window as a symbol of comfort and for all who have been in our classroom community to know that they are always welcomed back home. Dalma, I want you to know that through these trying times, it isn't the physical place that matters, it's the people who you are with that welcomes you home. I hope you know that through all of your accomplishments in life and through all your challenges that you'll face, I am here for you, your biggest cheerleader. I love you, Dalma, aka one of my darling Vikings. Congratulations.
I am thrilled to have the opportunity to introduce one of our graduates, Ben McLoughlin. Although you came to Richmond Montessori your 7th grade year, it feels like you have been a part of our community since birth. Ben comes across as the silent type. However, that is far from the truth. You make us laugh every day. We are going to miss your clever sense of humor and especially your 2 iconic taglines. Many of you may recall 2 famous marketing campaigns. One was from the 1980s Hardee's commercial that used the catchphrase, "Where's the beef?" And the other is the "Got Milk" campaign. Well, Ben has 2 taglines of his own that he needs to capitalize on. I don't think he realizes how often he says, "Wait, what?" And the other one is, "Seriously?" Both of which are ended in question form. So his taglines always leave room for open-ended discussions. Ben, I know your crust project at the beginning of the year when searching your spirit animal, you felt certain that your spirit animal was the giraffe. However, I beg to differ. I believe your spirit animal is actually the wolf. You are the symbol of sharp intelligence and deep connections. You are guided by your instincts. You support and encourage others both emotionally and mentally because of your innate wisdom. You are trustworthy and loyal. Ben, you delve deep into each assignment or project you work on, and I appreciate your global perspective on so many issues. You always bring your game to seminar, and I would like to share with everyone some of your own words of wisdom from our farm field study last year. You shared some reflections about service and community building in your Erdkinder culminating project, and I'd like to share your words with our RMS community. And I quote, "There are many reasons that community is important, but one of the main ones is support. When one is part of a strong, bonded community, there is trust, empathy, and compassion. It is very important to engage in volunteer work. Service work can not only teach valuable life lessons and help acquire knowledge, but will also provide a service for those who actually need it. These are some of the reasons that community service is important. What words of wisdom! For that reason, as you move on to your next chapter, I gift you your new Montessori nickname, Fearless Advocate. Carry it with pride, Ben. Wishing you adventure, success, and happiness for all your tomorrows.
I first met Arushi when she was a sweet, conscientious, seemingly quiet lower elementary student. Her calm demeanor prompted me one day to address her as Empress Arushi, Supreme Leader of the World. Well, her quiet facade dropped, a playful look came over her face, and she quickly replied, "Okay, Miss Rally Patali, Mistress of the Galaxy, Ruler of all." Thus began a greeting of ever-escalating superlatives that's continued to this day. And aside from being a personal highlight to my day, this exchange says so much about Arushi. Her quick thinking, her verbal precociousness, and her sense of humor. The thing is, though, Arushi really kind of is the supreme leader of the galaxy. She is a phenomenal person. A principled role model, a keen observer, a steadfast friend, and a creative spirit. One of Arushi's titles should be Empress Arushi, Grand Vizier of Analysis and Insight. She's quick to seize on underlying patterns and relishes scrutinizing them. If you were to ask her opinion on a recently read novel, her likely response would be, well, the author's experimentation with unreliable narration effectively created a mood of unease. In addition, however, one may also honor Arushi as extraordinary appreciator of artistic pursuits. After thoroughly analyzing that book, she's just as likely to gush over an emotional plot point. "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it when that happened!" She appreciates many of the finer things, ranging from piano sonatas to K-pop. Arushi offers many of her own creative contributions. She's a gifted musician, vocalist, and actor. Last year, as the lead in the spring musical, her comedic delivery had the audience rolling, even as her belt it to the rafters singing had them in awe. Arushi's most important description, however, is huge-hearted helper and overly confident leader. She's always ready to jump in and assist with a task, no matter how big or small. And she has an inner radar for people who just need a little extra help or attention. She's devoted to her friends and family who are lucky to receive such love and loyalty. Arushi, it's been such an honor to see you flourish as a perfectly preeminent luminary leader of the RMS World Incorporated and its surrounding regions. Your wit, kindness, generosity, creativity, and dedication will take you so far. This universe is not big enough to hold you.